How do the experts come out with so much content and keep producing it day after day, week after week? There's a couple hidden secrets that if you're new to producing a podcast or a channel, you may not know about, but I swear every single expert engages in this behavior. Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, Shay Rowbottom, you name a big producer, they are using these strategies to keep their content pipeline full. Before we get into what you can do to make sure your content backlog is full, let me tell you one of the best things you can do to help your channel grow, to help people find and appreciate what you are making is consistency. If you release a video at the same day, at the same time, over and over and over again, you allow YouTube, Google, these different social media engines to start to learn from you. You allow your audience to start to learn from you. You allow them to set aside time to watch, listen, and learn from you and your expertise. Whatever your topic is, if you have a reliable release of your content, you're gonna be much more successful than releasing whenever. So today, I am putting out my secrets and my tips that I use and that some of the biggest channels use to make sure they never miss a deadline and always have new content coming out. The first tip to getting good content, always reliable, and filming when you don't want to is focus on why you are doing this. What is the value that you're delivering? Why does your audience need this? Now, I like to talk about production and podcast. If you're watching this, you have an expertise, you have knowledge, you have experience, and you have a background that other people want to learn from. And you probably have a few experts that you rely on to learn from to better your business, to better your content, and better your channel. So what you could do is keep in mind the reason that you're doing this. Let your motivation and your passion guide you and excite you. For me, it's so exciting, this idea that there are other people like me and maybe even more experienced than me that can watch my video, learn something, and start a podcast today. Whenever you're not sure, return to your focus. What is driving you? What's the big picture reason you're doing this? Because if you just go on day-to-day motivation, that's going to be a lot harder to keep the energy and to stick to your goals. The second key to filming when you don't want to and making sure you have a backlog of content is this magical brew right here. Coffee. Don't underestimate coffee and how useful it can be to helping you get on camera. This is my third cup of the day. I had a cup to wake me up, a cup to write a couple scripts, and then this third cup for performance. You want to get a little bit of stimulant, a little bit of energy. And the third point I'm going to bring up is your energy level. Now, a lot of times when people get on camera and when they start making content, it feels weird. It feels really strange, really boring, disconnected, because your energy is going to show up differently on camera than it does in real life. A tip that I like to give people is whatever your natural energy is on a scale of 1 to 10, you're going to want to turn that up 1 or 2 notches. So me on a normal day, I'm probably a 7, but I amp it up a little bit to get here on camera, because if I'm my normal self, I'm probably talking like this, and I have a lower energy, I'm not as animated, I'm not as excited, and this isn't really interesting to watch me kind of be a lame sack. You want to see energy, you want to see excitement, and people are going to want to see that too. So just turn that energy up a notch or 2. It makes a big difference and your audience will appreciate it. The next tip for making sure that you have good content coming out regularly is to keep it simple. A lot of people, what they want to do when they're making a podcast, when they're making a video, they want to have a word-for-word script. And when we started, I would say our first 6 months, we would usually write scripts and try and get people to say it. But what we noticed was a shoot that we thought would take 10 or 15 minutes ended up taking 3 hours, because it's very, very hard to read a script word for word. And if you screw up one single word, you got to go back to the last sentence or the last paragraph, so it's not extra work on the editor trying to piece together your words just right. Keep this thing simple. Rather than getting a word-for-word script, focus on the big bullets. What are the main messages that you are trying to get across? And then just communicate those in your own words. Some people like to use a teleprompter. One of my biggest problems with a teleprompter is it's not genuine. If you've never used a teleprompter, I guarantee you the first time you get on, you are going to read a teleprompter like this because you don't have any experience and it is really awkward. Forget about a teleprompter, just stick to the bullet points and explain it in your own words. Keep this simple. My bonus tip to helping you get content out on schedule, sticking to it and making sure it's high quality is what we call batch filming. Now, a lot of times when people start, they film one piece of content at a time, and that is exhausting because you have to set up the camera and the lights, make sure the background is clean, make sure you look nice, get all cleaned up. That takes a while. It takes some time to set up. So I am going to invite you to do what we call batch filming. Batch filming means that you are creating multiple pieces of content in a single day. So when we get signed on to help somebody start a podcast, we try and get an entire season of the podcast filmed in a week or less. What we try and do is we try and line up one guest after the next and just have one podcast after another, so these people can finish, then the editing team and the post-production team can take over. Batch filming will take up more of your time right now, but it will make your life so much easier down the road. Some experts that I know who have massive followings of 50,000 or more, they put out 3 pieces of content a week, and that is hard. Daily content, you're setting yourself up for failure unless you use batch filming to build a backlog. Now you have some tips that will help you stick to your schedule, that will help you release content reliably, and will help you have a similar look, feel, and quality. It's very, very important that you stick to a schedule when you're releasing content. Do not miss a day and set up a schedule to where you can actually meet it. If you're going for daily content, no, it's going to be very difficult for you to keep up the pace and for your team to keep up that pace. It's better that you set up a release of once a month or twice a month than once a day and fail, because you need to let the algorithms and your audience know what to expect. Now you know what to do. I wish you luck, and if you think you can start your podcast today, I believe in you. Get your expertise and your message out into the world, because there are millions of people like me waiting to learn from people like you. Good luck.